Yes, welcome everybody. It's Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's December 9th, 2019. The show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find the show. A lot of great articles as well. Social media links and more. marijuanatimes.org. Of course, you can see there my contact information if you want to get a hold of me directly. You can also comment on the YouTube videos as well. Search the Marijuana Times on YouTube to find the show. Today, we're talking about adult use cannabis access and over-the-counter sleep aids. Also, some cases of vaping illnesses tied to legal marijuana shops in Massachusetts. And we'll look at Michigan's retail sales, the shortage of legal recreational marijuana in Michigan. All that's coming up. First, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com. And their organic, all-natural pesticides grow safe and poison-free with Natureside. Don't use harmful chemicals or ban pesticides. Be regulatory compliant in the state that you are growing in. All of these things are possible with the power of Natureside. Nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Thank you, Natureside, for all of your awesomeness. This first story is by Jason Sander at marijuanatimes.org. Adult use cannabis access linked to fewer sales of over-the-counter sleep aids. This is according to data that is published in the journal Complementary Therapies in Medicine. This confirms what many advocates have already known for years, which is that cannabis is great for treating sleep ailments like insomnia. The study included investigators from the University of New Mexico and California Polytechnic State University. The researchers conducted studies based on the trends of purchases of over-the-counter sleep aids before and after cannabis was made legal for adult use purposes. For the first time, we show a statistically significant negative association between recreational access to cannabis and OTC sleep aid sales, suggesting that at least some recreational purchases are using cannabis for therapeutic rather than recreational purposes, the researchers reported. Our results indicate that enough individuals are switching from OTC sleep aids to recreational cannabis that we can identify a statistically significant reduction in the market share growth of OTC sleep aids in conjunction with access to recreational cannabis use. A couple things. First of all, most people know that even if you're using marijuana for recreational purposes, you're getting therapeutic benefit from it, even if it's just stress reduction, anxiety reduction, things of that nature. And cannabis, as far as sleep goes, even if it's not an indica that actually makes you sleepy, just something that reduces anxiety and stress can do wonders for sleep. Anxiety and stress keep a lot of people from sleeping. If those things can be lessened, then it's going to have a positive overall effect on sleep. And why take things that you may get addicted to like Ambien or something like that if marijuana helps? And it seems that it is. This next story from masslive.com. 6 cases of vaping illnesses tied to marijuana vapes bought in Massachusetts dispensaries. Of course, this is big because so far most of the cases, with the exception of a few, have been from illegal THC vape cartridges, and not many from actual licensed regulated dispensaries. The obvious reasons for this are that these what's in a dispensary and what's in a retail shop is supposed to go through some sort of testing. It doesn't mean that it's foolproof. It doesn't mean that there aren't going to be some that slip through the cracks, maybe some that were cut with vitamin E acetate, or the source marijuana used the certain pesticide that when heated becomes hydrogen cyanide. A lot of factors go into that. But we're now seeing these cases in Massachusetts. Report released Thursday, which indicates data based on interviews with patients conducted through November 22nd, identified 5 probable cases in which patients had vaped only THC products purchased from a licensed Massachusetts marijuana dispensary. One other probable case involves someone who vaped nicotine and THC, also using a product purchased from a legal dispensary. Overall, Massachusetts has had 30 confirmed cases of vaping-related illnesses and 60 probable cases, under definitions created by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So apparently a lot of those cases were also nicotine vapes as well. I mean, other than saying stay away from the bootleg vapes, at this point I would stay away from vapes, period. I know, that the convenience factor and many advantages that they have, but is the risk worth it? I don't think it is. But some people think that it is. I don't agree. I would stick with flower or edibles or something along those lines from people you trust. You know where it came from. Other than that, be careful. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what we're all here doing, is being careful. That's what we do every day. It's how we get through from point A to point B throughout the day, from the beginning of the day to the end. We're watching out for things. And right now, there's too many unknowns. Too many unknowns to risk something like that. Even if your odds are greatly reduced from buying from legal dispensaries, the odds are still there. They still exist. So last story from MLive.com, a little update on the retail sales in Michigan. Michigan shop runs out of marijuana after serving 750 recreational customers in 2 days. Just 2 days after Lit Provisioning Centers in Everett opened its doors to recreational marijuana sales, it ran out of product. They opened Friday, December 6th, and announced they'd run out of marijuana flower by Sunday afternoon. Loom Cannabis Company President and Chief Operating Officer Doug Helyar said, quote, people traveled from across the state, braved the cold, and stood in line for hours to be among the first to purchase recreational marijuana in northern Michigan. Another 2 days, we saw over 750 customers and did more than $75,000 in recreational sales. The average customer spending about $103 per trip. More than 8 pounds of marijuana were sold. Lit Provisioning Centers is a subsidiary of Loom Cannabis Company, which operates a 12,000 plant grow facility in Everett and another medical marijuana dispensary as well in Kalamazoo. They hope to eventually add 9 retail locations across Michigan. The company says it currently harvests about 1,000 pounds of marijuana per month and has nearly 2,000 pounds of harvested flower awaiting testing to bring the market. They're looking to transfer another 42 pounds of Loom flower into Lit's inventory for adult use this week. Hopefully, that'll alleviate some of the supply problems that they are experiencing. But it's something that's we're going to see in Michigan for a while. It's something we saw in Massachusetts, something we continue to see in places like California. It's the same thing we're going to see in Illinois starting next month. Shortages, high prices, lack of supply. And it's just something that's going to take time and effort to work through. And it's a shame, but the government is in charge of enacting legalization, so there's going to be delays and problems and shortages, and just it's going to be slow going. I mean, I wish that there wasn't. There's not much I can do about it. I report the news. I cannot make the news or force it into a channel that I would like. If I could, well, let's just say there'd be plenty of legal marijuana for everyone, and it'd be very cheap. But alas, that's not my thing. This is what I do. Cannabis news, 5 days a week for the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Of course, check out YouTube and Vimeo for the videos. The audio podcast can be found at Apple Podcasts. Search the Marijuana Times on there. Thanks, everybody, for liking and sharing and commenting on these videos and spreading the truth about cannabis with this show. Please continue to do so. It is awesome of you. Thanks for watching and listening today. We'll see you next time right here on Cannabis News.